Well, thank you for joining us today. Today I have Rosa Castillo with Academy Mortgage here, and we are going to talk about some issues with getting started with financing and finding a home. If you know anything about the market right now, you know that the market is just ridiculous crazy and everything is moving so quickly. In order to even have a chance on getting your dream home, you have to get your pre-qualification or your pre-approval done and in hand and ready to go to submit with your offer. So Rosa and I are going to talk a little bit today about some of the steps that you have to take to kind of start that process and make sure that you have everything ready to go when you find your dream home. So thank you, Rosa, for joining me today. So you work with Academy Mortgage. How long have you been working with them? I don't even think I know that. How long have you been with them?
So I've been with Academy for 3 years. I've been in the business for over 20 years, but with Academy, I've been here 3 years.
Okay.
So,
But you told me that you're a native of Yuma, so you're very familiar with the area and all of that, right?
yes, I was, born, raised in Yuma, lived here my whole life. So for me, it's a privilege to be able to now help families, buy their dream home and, build that future for their families and children. And so yes, I have seen, Yuma grow tremendously, and buying and becoming homeowners is definitely my biggest satisfaction.
I've been here 4 years and it's grown so much just the short time that I've been here. So I can imagine what you've seen over, your lifetime. I'm sure that it's changed tremendously
Tremendously. I
and
mean,
it's continuing on.
yes, some areas that I drive by, I remember when they were just fields, and now I even lived in one of those, homes where there used to be a field. But yes, has grown and, continues to grow. And it's a great place to, raise your family and live, besides the crazy heat. But, other than that, it's a very nice area.
And if anything that could go wrong climate wise, heat is probably the least one I'm worried about. There's no hurricanes, there's a little earthquake here and again. There's no tornadoes, there's no tropical storms, there's no, if you have to, and we have amazing winters. So if we have to suffer through some heat for, a couple of months, then to me, it's well worth it. So I love it here.
Yes. And what I see a lot of people that are moving into the area, they want to find a home, with a pool, because in the summer, you just go to your backyard and jump in the pool and you're good.
People think they need a pool, but they don't realize that if it's open to the sun, it turns into a hot tub during the summer months. So
Yeah.
unless it's shaded, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
most people here, I think most people really don't even have a pool.
Yes, it can, there's some, I had a home with a pool and it's good. Now mine doesn't have a pool and you can still manage, to get through the summer. So
Absolutely. So getting back on track, we could talk all day, and we have done that before. So I know, working with some of clients that are coming through, some companies are doing like a quick pre-qualification, just, let's run your credit, see what your credit score looks like, boom, here you go. But then we see, kind of down the road, we go under contract, the ball starts rolling and things fall apart because, well, they don't have, maybe the income, they haven't been in a job long enough, too much debt, I mean, it could be anything. So I know a lot of lenders I work with, and especially you, and we've talked about the differences, and I want you to talk a little bit about that too. Going a step further and actually doing the pre-approval, which in my opinion holds a lot more weight when you're submitting an offer in an extremely competitive market than just a little, pre-qualification with, a number on it with nothing really else to back it up. So do you want to talk a little bit about the differences between a pre-qual and a pre-approval?
Yes, for sure. And yes, definitely, getting in to see your lender is the most important thing, especially in today's market. So, the differences between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval, a pre-qualification pretty much says that, the lenders looked at your credit, by what you have given the lender based on your income, your assets. Um, they can say you're pre-qualified. However, nothing to income wise, asset wise has been verified. So to me, like you mentioned, a pre-approval has a lot more value, especially now, when submitting offers. I believe that having a pre-approval would put you ahead of the game, versus having a pre-qualification pending to verify income, assets that can go two ways. It could be either that you're good, or they can come back and say no, something didn't verify. So, when you've decided to become a homeowner, your first step would be to visit, see your a local lender, and once that, you've made contact with your lender, we would, either schedule an appointment. And my preference is I like to do a lot of more of the face to face, even though now there's a lot of the technology where you can apply online, via telephone. But a lot of times in person is always, to me, the most, beneficial, way. But again, it's always up to the client what they prefer. And at that point, in doing the meeting, we ask that you provide, documentation, which is your, proof of income, pay stubs, 2-year tax returns, 2 months of bank statements. All of that, put together will be able to give us a better view of, what we're looking at to base your pre-approval on, and, give you a more, solid decision on what you can buy and what amount you can, pre-approve for.
Okay. And what, I know there are some restrictions as far as, and I've come across this before, where like time on the job or time in a certain field or something like that. What does Academy look at as far as like longevity in a certain job or field?
So the requirements pretty much, are that you have a 2-year employment history. Doesn't necessarily have to be that you're on the same with the same company, same job for 2 years, but we have to verify 2 years of employment history.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what we, will look for, that job, 2-year job history.
Okay.
There are, also depending on different programs, if there's been any gaps, the requirements can differ from one, program to the next. So that's why it's very important to actually get a whole pre-approval, because all of those, items are cleared.
So how long, once you get all those items from the potential borrower, um, just average time frame, and I know things are crazy right now, but what's like an average time frame for you getting all those documents in to getting the actual, pre-approval done?
So if the client provides, all the documentation, we can normally give a pre-approval within, the 24-hour, timeline, unless, there's, other items that we need in order to make a decision. But pretty much, if it's all given, sometimes even at time of application, if we have all those documents up front, we can get a pre-approval done.
Good.
Especially right now, I know how the market is, and waiting can be critical in being able to, for the agent to submit an offer. So the turnaround times right now are, pretty crazy, like you said, on getting you a pre-approval, just because the way homes are right now.
Right. And I've been telling people I'm not even showing homes to anybody, unless they have a pre-qualification, especially a pre-approval in hand, because by the time, if they don't have it, by the time we see a property and I say, okay, go talk to your lender, then in 24 hours, that house is going to be gone. It's going to be somebody else's dream home.
Right, right.
So, that's the most important first step. I get a lot of leads that come in, and that's a first question is, are you needing financing? Do you have your pre-approval done? And if not, I recommend them to somebody. And then that's where you can kind of come in and
Mhm,
help them.
for
So
sure.
it's really, I guess, the most educational part I want to kind of take away from this is that the very first step, if you're thinking about becoming a homeowner, is talk to, your trusted lender. If you don't have one, ask for recommendations. We can definitely recommend. But talk to your lender, get your pre-approval done first, then talk to your agent, figure out where you're comfortable at, as far as payments and your budget and all that, and start looking. And that way you've got your ammunition in hand and ready to go, and there's no waiting and the possibility of losing that home to somebody else.
Right. I completely agree. And I do feel that, you know, getting your pre-approval is the first thing. And like you said, right now you guys prefer to have the client pre-approved prior to showing homes, just because, if they fall in love with that home and, they want to submit an offer, but they have not yet been pre-approved, that could very well delay, the opportunity. Because you probably have seen where I'm sure homes right now have multiple offers. So
Yep.
having a pre-approval versus a pre-qual will put the client ahead of anybody else that does not have an actual pre-approval.
Right. I
So,
think it gives you a little bit stronger, makes it a
mhm,
little bit stronger offer.
right, right, right. So very important. That is for me the key, that people, understand that getting pre-approved is going to be very important.
Right. Okay. Well, any final words on that? I think we've covered what we wanted to talk about today.
Yes, and and just that, people know that it's a very easy, we make it as painless as possible, because it's a big step when people decide to become homeowners, and then it's a very exciting. So, I'm always willing to, you know, help them throughout the process from beginning to end and beyond. And that's what we're here for, to make it easy and exciting, and just guide them through the process.
And one thing I really truly appreciate about you is that, as a realtor, we have to work 24/7. I mean, it's all the time. We can't take a weekend off because that's when people are looking, and we can't. It's moving. The market's moving too fast for us to take any time off.
Mhm.
So what I really appreciate about you is that you're working all the time too. And I know it's tough, but we've got to get it done, or otherwise these people are going without a home, or they're going elsewhere,
Right.
um, in maybe not getting as good a service. So I really appreciate you emailing me or texting me early in the mornings, late at night, on the weekends, whatever. I together we get the job done, and I really appreciate that from you.
Yes, thank you. And yes, like you said, we're always working. It's a 24/7 job. We have to be available, for you as the agent, for our clients. Everybody has different schedules, times, and working around everybody is my priority. and making sure that, that we get them taken care of.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, Rosa. I appreciate you doing this with me. And I'm sure that we'll be doing some more
We'll be
videos,
back.
and we'll be
Yes,
back.
yes, we will be back. And, it's a lot of information. So giving, little guides and educating people is huge. So.
Well, do you want to give a plug for Academy and maybe your phone number for folks who may be watching?
Of course. So, like, again, my name is Rosa Castillo, and I'm a mortgage loan officer with Academy Mortgage. And if you have any questions, you're ready to get pre-approved, you can always call me. My number is 928-920-2831. Or you can reach me, via email at rosa.castillo@academymortgage.com. And I look forward to being of service to anybody. We are here for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dina, for the opportunity, and we will be back.
We'll be back for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.